Hi, I'm attorney Renee Osipov with Chelle Law here in Scottsdale, Arizona, and we assist healthcare providers with employment agreement issues. Today in this video, I'm discussing how PTO or paid time off should be reflected in your employment agreement. So first, let's talk about what is PTO and is it customary that you do receive it? I will say specifically with dental employment agreements, sometimes you actually are not given PTO time. It's considered unpaid time off. Sometimes also if you are a healthcare provider and your compensation is based on collections, occasionally you will receive unpaid time off. It should be listed though in your employment agreement normally it's under the benefits section where it addresses it. I do feel like it's important that your agreement does specify how much PTO or unpaid time off that you receive. Occasionally it will refer to a company policy, but policies can change. Your employment agreement cannot be changed unless both parties consent and it's in writing. So it's just better, in my opinion, that your PTO time is actually reflected in the employment agreement itself. So then let's talk about how is it stated in your contract. So most of the time in the contracts, it does say PTO or paid time off. Occasionally it can be called a vacation time or time off. Again, you want to verify though that it is paid. You're compensated when you're taking this time off. And then is the PTO time reflected in hours, days, or weeks? This is also really important if you have sort of a hybrid schedule. So if you have a normal work schedule where you're working 8 hours, 5 times a week, 40 hours a week, that's pretty easy to figure out if it says week, days, or hours. However, if you're a healthcare provider and have sort of a hybrid schedule where you may be working 4 10-hour shifts or you're working 12-hour shifts or even 24-hour shifts, those kind of change the way PTO might be figured out. So I have seen some issues with clients in the past who have signed a contract and their contract states that they have 20 days of PTO time. However, the days are not defined and the company interprets that as 8-hour days, not 10-hour days or 12-hour days. And so therefore the PTO that you're expecting to receive is actually much less. So that's why if you have a non-traditional schedule, it's not 8-hour shifts, it's better, in my opinion, that PTO time is reflected in hours. Also, I think it's important if you're unsure of how they figure up how much a day is, you can also ask for them to provide you with any policies they currently have for PTO for their providers. There also may be more details in there. So there's a clear expectation whenever you are commencing your employment. The other thing to note, if you do have sort of longer shifts, so like 4 10s or you have 12-hour shifts, or sometimes when you have a week on or a week off, your PTO time may be limited, or especially if it's a week on, a week off, you may not actually have any PTO time because they expect you to use that time when you're off schedule to, take your vacations or use that for your own personal time. But again, you should always read your employment contract very carefully, know what your schedule is going to look like, and then when you read your PTO, how much you're received, you should be able to understand that completely. If you have any more questions, you can check out our website, Chelle Law, CHELLE law.com. Our contact information is also in the description below. We're happy to review your contract, employment agreement. Yeah, thanks.